Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on how to hack. So over here I have Dvar application running, and of course this is an insecure mobile application, and we're gonna look at the item number 8, which is on input validation issues. So this is part of our mobile application penetration testing series, and of course we also have a number of mobile applications that we'll be testing on. So in this case, of course, we can go ahead and click on input validation issues part 2. All right, so once you click on it, so I'm going to open up the magnifier so that it is easier for you to see. So we can look from the magnifier, okay? So the objective is try to access any sensitive information apart from a web URL. So improper or no input validation issue arise when the input is not filtered or validated before using it. So likewise, whether you're building a web application or a mobile application or any TIC client software, you want to validate what the user is going to input into your system. All right, so over here, we can see that there is an input form and there is a button for us to click view on. So in our case, let's go ahead and enter, for example, a website. So I can enter, for example, loyliangyang.com. So I go ahead and click on view. And immediately that would begin loading the rest of the site. So we can see the website. All right, so do check out this website, loyliangyang.com, to learn all about cybersecurity. Okay, so we got a number of videos and so on. So right now we are doing a lot of focus on mobile application penetration testing. So in the future, we could be learning a lot about other stuff. Okay, could be on iPhone, could be on laptop, Windows 10 computers, Macintosh OS, and many, many others. So very quickly, we can see that this is how it works. So we can validate whether we are able to access other files inside the phone by changing the input. So again, we're setting different kind of payloads. So again, on the previous video, we look at SQL injection, and in this case, we can look at the ability to access other files. So one of those issues with mobile application is that they have so much permissions into our mobile devices, like the storage across the entire device, whether it's on SD card or whether it is on internal system storage. Many of these mobile applications have full access into it. So a vulnerability in the input form will allow the hackers to be able to gain access to these different paths. So moving forward, what we can do is, of course, I can open up command prompt. Okay, so we got command prompt running over here. So I'm going to put it onto the right side. And of course, we have the mobile device on the left side. Okay, so I can go ahead and try to go into ADB shell, all right, Android Debug Bridge, so that we can understand more about the system structure and what kind of files are accessible because of this particular vulnerability. All right, so I go ahead and enter ADB shell, and this would bring us to the shell of the mobile device. Okay, so we do have a tutorial and Android Debug Bridge, so do check that tutorial out. So moving forward, what we can do is we can cd into data. Okay, so this is the part where all the mobile applications are storing their information on. Okay, so we can cd into Jakhar, Asim Dvar. Okay, so we can enter ls, for example, and we can cd into shared preferences. All right, we can enter ls again, and we can see all these different files available for users to access into. And if I do a cd ... I can enter ls-l, so we can see all these different files. So we have like a file over here called uinfo, all right, and so on and so forth. And we have the app textures and all these different directories as well. Okay, so what we can do is we can change, for example, so we can try to move one of the files like uinfo into a smaller way for us to type it out inside the vulnerable input. So we can change this, let's say, for example, 560. Let's change this to uinfo test 1. All right, so it's easier for us to access and enter inside the system. So we can enter ls-l again. So we got a file here, uinfo test 1. So what we can do is going back into the mobile application, all I got to do is change a little bit of the command. So I can enter file. All right, so we're trying to access into the system. Okay, so we have the file, and we can specify specifically where is the absolute path. So the full path name into the file that we are trying to access into. So I can enter file, and I can enter, for example, data/data. So, and of course by Jakhar, Jaghar Asim Divar / uinfo test1. Let's see if that works. Will we be able to get the details of that particular file? Okay, so go ahead and click on view. And immediately we can see the content inside this file. All right, and we'll be able to see a lot of those content across the entire mobile application or the mobile device inside the storage. And what if we try to access into, say, for example, the SD card? So that is an external storage. So for example, if I cd into SD card, I can enter ls. And of course, over here in SD card, we do have quite a number of different files, and I can enter ls-la. So this would also show hidden files. Okay, so we got a .uinfo.txt. So this is a hidden file. Are we also able to access hidden files because of this vulnerability? All right, so let's go ahead and try that out and see what we see, okay? Let's see what we'll get. So if I go into SD card, followed by /.uinfo.txt, click on view, and once again, we're able to see the file. So if I do a cat uinfo.txt, hit enter on that, likewise, we're getting the same information. Okay, so very quickly, we are able to view all these different data. We're able to view all this different sensitive, critical information inside the mobile device. And of course, this vulnerability means that hackers will be able to view into all this critical data, critical information, and the input validation has an issue, and which means that whether it is a client-only architecture or client-server architecture, we have to secure, we have to sanitize the different kind of inputs coming in. All right, coming in from the user into the mobile application. Okay, so again, I hope you've learned something valuable in today's tutorial. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be kept abreast of the latest cybersecurity tutorial. Thank you so much once again for watching.